What's up, everybody? So it's the day. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. My plane leaves in 3 hours from Seattle. This is my wonderful mama. I love you, mama.
I love you, son.
I'm sadly saying goodbye to her, but we got a month together. That was fun. And I'm going on another adventure. The sea, here we come.
I've been offered to board a plane bound for Hawaii. Get on a boat I've never seen, with people I've never met, and sail 3,300 nautical miles across the Pacific Ocean. What would you do? The boat in question is a 1984 Mason 63, designed by Alvin Mason in the late 1970s. Mason had, in his early career, worked for John Alden, whose famous designs include the Bristol 35, Fuji 45, and many custom schooners. Having also been the head draftsman for Sparkman Stevens, he took many of the design elements from the yachts he penned over his career and put them into his legacy boat, the Mason 63. The crew includes Mark, the owner of the boat, his daughter Erin, her boyfriend Jake, and my buddy Ryan. Yeah, okay, I know one of them. Needless to say, after 30,000 miles on a catamaran, I was more than a bit intrigued to see how this beautiful yacht would handle herself in the deep blue. This boat hadn't been out on the water since her crossing to Hawaii over a year ago, so we needed to go through and check to make sure she was seaworthy for the journey. The first thing we did was take the sails down to simultaneously check them for wear and check the halyards for chafe. For you non-sailors, halyards are the lines that hold up the sails.
Okay, so we found our first problem here. This is the jib halyard. It goes onto the top swivel of the Harkin roller furler and pulls it up. So this is stay set, and this is Dyneema chafe sleeve, and there's a pretty good, this is worn through all the way to the stay set. This will break underway if it gets enough strain on it. So what we need to do is to take this and move it so it's on the block up a little farther. So what we're gonna do is cut off this one. I'll cut off all the whipping, and then probably just pull the whipping out, and then we'll tie it in a bowline. That'll make this block right about here instead. And then we're gonna lock wire all the shackles, because one of the shackles was just completely, it was about to fall off. Make sure all your shackles are lock wired, because this one was like on the hairy edge of.
The next step was to lube the sails as we raised them back up. That way, if we have any problems offshore, it'll be that much easier to get this big piece of Dacron down in an emergency. Checking the mizzen, that's the rear mast on a two-masted boat, we found a very similar problem where the chafe was even more significant. We handled this halyard in the same fashion, and the mizzen sail was ready to go.
I just got off the phone with Eric. We're getting our iridium. That's amazing. Thank you, Eric. You're the man. He went and dug through all my crap from Zingaro, like 7 boxes full of shit to get that iridium. So now we're gonna make a list of what we need from the parts store. We need some 5200 and some butyl tape to rebed anything that's leaking. Mark says that there's a couple of leaks, which means that there's probably going to be more than a couple, and one of them is going to piss water, because that's always what happens on a plastic boat. And then there's a couple lines we need replacing, and fishing line, because fishing is very important. Got to make the crew happy. Right, Ryan?
Yes, sir. Gonna catch some fish, some mahi-mahi, and some tuna, maybe a sailfish.
What's your favorite fish?
Ooh, I gotta say mahi, dorado.
That is a good one. How about you, Mark?
Tuna.
Some bluefin, some yellowfin?
Either one.
Blackfin?
All of the above.
And I like Ono, so it doesn't matter what fish we get, it's gonna be our favorite one!
After we dealt with all of the sails and gave the rigging a good inspection, it was time to visit the generator and the diesel. This boat has an absolutely breathtaking engine room with full access to everything, making oil changes and maintenance very easy. The deck is even designed to come off in the area above the engine so you can pick the engine out with a crane. This bad boy is a 2-stroke Detroit Diesel 453, arguably one of the best diesel engines ever made. As it's just been rebuilt, it looks beautiful. Here you can see us cleaning out the seawater cooling strainer. That little basket will suck up anything from seagrass to jellyfish. Yep, you heard me. We found jellyfish in there. The last engine maintenance item was to change the fuel filters and change a cracked filter housing we found in our inspections. After seeing to the engine maintenance, we were ready to take the big girl out for a shakedown sail. We wanted to check that everything was, in fact, set up to do what it was supposed to do, and test a few things we couldn't check at the dock. After raising the sails, the wind really piped up, and we got a chance to do some training on reefing the sails. We also started the water maker to make sure it was making us the oh so important shower water. People get pretty stinky after 3 weeks on a boat.
Okay, the day's over. We took the sails down and now we're beating into the wind, 23 knots, probably 2-meter waves, and it's not really fun. But the boat's handling it well. We're doing 5 knots, like straight up wind. I could never do this with Zingaro.
So you said the propeller gives you the push, not the engine?
Yeah, the propeller. A good propeller makes all the difference in the world. This is a Max Prop 4-blade.
4-blade.
4-blade. Lots of traction.
Maybe I'll go down below and show you guys what's banging around down there.
Well, this is why you do a sea trial. We found many broken latches, leaking deck hardware, and other points of maintenance we needed to deal with. And after we got into port, Mark and I had a meeting to make a list of everything we needed to do before departure. We tested the EPIRB, sealed the mast once again, replaced the weather stripping on the aft lazarette hatch. For you non-sailors, lazarette is a fancy word for locker. And rebedded a few of the deck protrusions. Now we were finally ready to go.
Go, 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 go!
Okay, hit it! It's work!
We did it.
We're just getting some fuel here before we leave. Should be leaving around 5, 6 o'clock, so we're getting everything prepared, ready to go.
It's said that the hardest knot to untie is the cleat hitch. That's the knot tying the boat to the dock. It's a very exciting and scary time to finally leave the dock. And after stopping to fuel up, we were treated by an absolutely amazing sunset our first night out to sea. During the night, we noticed that the breaker for the navigation lights kept tripping, and for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why. So the decision was made to stop at Hanalei Bay on Hawaii's Kauai Island to troubleshoot.
So the reason that the breaker kept tripping for the navigation lights is the stern light has a wire that goes through the stern pulpit. And the stern pulpit is connected to the lifelines. And that whole thing is charged because somewhere in there that wire is frayed and it's touching the stern pulpit, which is then grounding to the lifelines. So as long as they're floating, they're fine. But as soon as we put these whisker pulls on, they started touching the standing rigging and they were sparking. And the only reason I saw it was because it was really dark last night and I thought there was a light going on up here. It was like light, 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 light. And I was like, what is that? And I saw the sparks and I was like, oh shit, we're gonna catch the boat on fire. So I moved the whisker poles up and that solved the problem of it overloading. The problem is this whole thing, all of these wires and these stanchions and the whisker poles are now charged. Well, it's not gonna start a fire unless there's some kind of like grease or oil or diesel on your clothes, but it's still a problem. So we've got the rest of the Pacific to figure this one out. These are my friends Jen and John from Caro Babo. This is the second time we've met, and we've been friends for a few years. John has a blog, and you are an ex-journalist, printer?
Worked in the newspaper industry, but I was a supplier. Yeah.
Newspaper industry.
That's what we say, newspaper industry.
He's got a strong command of the English language. Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you.
Thanks for rowing over.
Yeah, we see you in different places.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
What are you monkeys doing?
So using my monkey toes to pull things out of the chain locker.
After fixing the navigation lights and playing in the water for the day, we were ready to raise the anchor and head out on what would become a 3,300 nautical mile journey all the way from 21 degrees latitude in Kauai to 48 degrees north, that's Vancouver Island, and back down to our final destination, San Francisco, at 37 degrees. We didn't know what we had in store, but we were all saying a small prayer to Neptune to get us through safely.
All right, it is officially day 3. We left Kauai yesterday. It's about 6 in the morning. I'm just getting off watch. Ryan's up here to relieve me. We've been doing 8 knots all night, traversing between like 3.35 and 3.45, which is actually better than I thought we would do. I thought we'd be at like 3.20 or something. But we've made it 110 miles and we left at like 4. So in 17 hours we've done 110 miles. So we're not breaking any records, but we're averaging probably 7.4 knots, something like that. So, oh no, wait, it's only been 14 hours. So that's even better. 7.5, 7.6. The wind has been pretty constant at 18 knots, and every once in a while a wave will just hit the boat and it'll come through here and it'll just splash this entire area. Like, this is all wet here on the table. I had to get my foulies on last night because I was freezing cold. But now it's gonna warm up, so Ryan should be fine. It might bring a sweater up here on night watch from now on though.
Yep, about that time.
Yeah.
We is gonna go do some fishing. Little lure that Al Sprague made for us. This thing just rigged up ourselves a little wire leader with a swivel and some 250-pound test trawling line.
Cool. This thing is the craziest thing to me. Like, look how far it's going. It's like 90 degrees to the rest of the boat. I don't know if I'll ever get used to that.
All right, guys. So one of the things about being on a boat is always having your awareness of where your lines are run and what's going to bind up with other things. So I was looking at this line right here. This is called a preventer. And what a preventer does is it prevents your boom from swinging the other way and slamming in case you had a wind switch or somebody wasn't paying attention at the helm. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this preventer on the inside of our safety lines. So in case the wind twitches or we have some kind of a problem, it's not going to rip our barbecue off and pull on these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a little line that's going to go around here to attach our preventer, so it goes from here to here instead of from outside of here to out here. So we're going to take this little piece. We're going to do a regular little knot. Okay, I'm going to put this through here. We're going to make another little overhand knot. And what that is, we got these 2 knots. We pull them together. Those are lover's knots.
Fisherman's knot.
Or a fisherman's knot. Now we got ourselves a loop. Now what we can do, whoa,
Fall off the boat.
try not to do that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna loop this around here. We're gonna do another pass through like that.
And you're going through itself, right?
Just through itself, yeah. And that should be enough. Put tension on it. That sucker's not gonna slide anywhere. So now that we've got this guy fixed to where we want it, We're gonna take this preventer off, and we're gonna move it in front. Swings this way, this is going to prevent this boom from swinging that way and ripping everything else off.
Yeah, that'll be a lot easier to tack now too, because we can just disconnect it from here and then bring it over here and connect it to the other one. Before we had to whip it around the entire backstay and like lean out over the boat. So nice job, Rye. Good on you, brother. This stuff is called Spartite. It seals the mast in this little boot. And I think what's happening is every time it's loaded down, it's separating the mast from the Spartite. And it's just leaking a little bit because we sealed it here on the back, but we haven't sealed it all the way around the mast. So I'm gonna put a little bead all the way around the mast and I hope that'll fix it. I think it will. So a little trick with this 5200 stuff, keep it in the freezer. It'll make it a little harder when you're in really hot climates. Otherwise it gets really runny.
Another little trick that you've seen me do if you've been paying attention is to lick your finger before you touch the adhesive. That way you can make it nice and pretty without getting any on your hands. Because as all of us sailors know, that 5200 is some nasty stuff. It's such good adhesive that we often call it screw the next guy.
So this is a series of knots, I guess, that after said and done, we call it the butterfly testicle hitch. And it's for fastening something, cinching something down towards a cleat. So you start off by making a loop. Some people might call this a perfection loop. You run a, just kind of like a pretzel there, back through your main loop, and then around your main line, tag end around the back side of the main line, through your main loop, and then around the two strands where your bite or final loop is going to be. Just get that tag end to stick out and cinch it down nice. So Ryan, if you can hold your finger there, like your finger is the cleat, right? And then you're gonna take your main line and run like you're a bite through it, like you're making a trucker's hitch. There's your butterfly testicles, okay? So then I'm gonna be the object we're cinching down to the cleat. And you're just gonna, you can run like a clove hitch off of this or just loop around, whatever you need to do to fasten your object down. We'll do a clove hitch around my arm, so the object. And then you finish it like a trucker's hitch.
Oh, damn it.
Just like that. Cinch it down. Ryan is the cleat, remember? And just tie a bite to finish your trucker's hitch.
Oh, cool.
Bam, bam. Complicated series of knots that we call the butterfly testicle hitch. Mostly for boat applications,
So what?
things like that.
Can you tie
using
this
the
again,
cleat.
this part of it?
Oh yeah, that's just like a mainline
Just
bite.
an overhand.
Just a mainline bite.
Got it.
Quick release system. Boop.
Got it.
If you tie it from this end, it doesn't work, right? A lot of people know that. You have to just play with it so you know which side you're tightening.
Oh, I see.
Otherwise, if you cinch this down and you pull on it, it just cinches down to your other line. Say my finger's the line.
Yeah.
So if I tie this on the wrong side of the line,
Just make a slip loop.
it's gonna cinch down to my line and it's gonna be a pain to get out later. So you always have to tie that down. See how it cinches?
Yeah.
You always have to tie the start of that like trucker's hitch on the right side of the line, otherwise it's going to cinch down. So you want your main line to be able to pull that trucker's hitch loop like free. So I'm pulling the main line. It's all a matter of where your tension is coming from.
I like that knot.
Clove hitch around your arm or whatever you're cinching down to the cleat. Back through. I can kind of cinch that and tie a regular bite so it's all easy to undo later.
Love it.
Cool. Alright, so what we do?
This is the fireman's carry.
Fireman's carry, yeah. So if you were to do that and just loop them across, you get yourself a clove hitch, right? But instead of overlapping them, like this, see how this will lock together? This way doesn't work. You gotta go this one under and that one over and through the loops like that. Cinch down. Once you got that, make a half hitch and throw this loop through that half hitch, and then this one, make another half hitch and throw that loop through that half hitch like that. And now you can pull on those and those loops don't tighten up. They stay the same size.
And like this would like my upper body, and shoulders, this would rest under my armpits.
Yeah, and then that
my
would be like
butt
a seat.
would sit right there.
Yeah.
And then Ryan could pull me up the side of a building or the side of a boat, just like that, or lower me back down using that main line.
Yep, up or down, yep. Pretty cool, eh?
Pretty cool, mate.
You know what I mean, bro?
Can you guys see the rainbow? That's a pretty one. So I just reefed down the whole boat. Mizzen's on the single reef, main's on a single reef, staysail's put away, and the jib is fully out. We are doing 9.2 knots on a course of 340, and the sun's about to set. It was a beautiful day today. This is like what sailing days should be. Sunny, good wind, 15 knots of wind all day. Just picked up now that the sun's going down, so hopefully that'll actually stay because we want to be trucking. Wind forecast comes out in an hour, and we might see the green flash tonight. Have you ever seen the green flash, Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
How about you, Mark? Yep. Several times. She's pretty wet. We've been taking waves all day. We're kind of beating up wind. We're keeping the wind at about 60 degrees so we can make some northerly progress because there's a big high coming through on the north, and then there's the low up there by Canada. So we've got to go all the way around that and kind of shoot the gap and split that and come back down. I'll show you guys on predict wind. All right, guys, let me tell you a little bit about this Mason and what I think of the boat. We are doing 10 knots right now, 10 knots, with a reef in the main and a reef in the mizzen and the jib fully out. This is the nicest 10 knots I've ever done on any boat. Be that as it may, this is the biggest sailboat I've ever taken a passage on, so I don't have a lot to compare with. But if I had to choose between this and Zingaro doing 10 knots, I would choose this any day. Whoever gets this boat is lucky. She's a stout, good sailing, very, very nice sailboat. And I'm not just saying that because Mark said he'd give me 5% on the sale. Because he didn't say that. Seriously, yeah, I love this boat. If I had an extra 150 grand, I would buy this right now. I don't know if I'd want the maintenance on a 65 footer, but this is a nice boat. I can't believe we're doing 10 knots. We're doing 10 knots, reef down. It's insane. Who built this?
They did a good job.
What's your thoughts, man? Is this a common thing for you to be doing over 9 knots average?
Yeah. We had many days where we were doing over 9 knots on our first Pacific crossing.
Yeah?
Yeah,
And you hit 10 knots on that crossing too?
several times.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Going upwind? Because we're pretty much going upwind right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And the motion, I mean, I just fell off 5 degrees. I went from 340 to 335, and we are just kind of cruising, doing between 9 and 10 knots. And that's impressive.
That's one thing about 70,000 pounds. It goes through the water. It doesn't go over the water.
Yeah. Yeah. So the sails are trimmed as about as good as they can be, and we're ready. I just put all the reefs in myself. I feel pretty proud about that. This boat can be single-handed. It would be a pain in the ass because it took me about 15 minutes of working to get all the sails down just to the first reef. To get the staysail in, get the main down to the first reef, and get the mizzen to the first reef. It took about 15 minutes. It would be a little dangerous to single-hand this thing, but it can be done. How about you, Mark? What do you think?
Single-handing?
Yeah.
Too much work for an old man.
What you making, buddy?
We are making pizza tonight. And I think the last one is ready to come out of the oven. Oh yeah. Look at that beauty.
Wow. What is it?
That one's got barbecue chicken and pepperoni, some cheese, pre-made crust, standard sauce on there. Oh, it's good.
All right, it's morning, day 4. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. The sun's just coming out. We've been doing 353 all night, which is north-northwest. And there was a system that just came through right when I was coming on watch. And now we're going a little bit farther north. The wind is coming from over here. Before it was coming from kind of right forward of the beam. Now it's our aft starboard quadrant, which is the right backhand side. I'm just waiting to turn the boat back around a little bit and watch the sunrise. So you can hear the sails kind of luffing because we would just pass the system, and it actually just ran over top of us, got us a little wet. That's been happening all night. It's been a couple beautiful days of sailing, and now we're starting to get into the storms. Just because I think this is where the temperature is going to start cooling down a little bit. I'm in my foulies, and I think that we'll be in those for a little while. We're still heading north, right towards Alaska, right where we want to go, and the new forecast comes out in half an hour. So I'm going to download that, and we'll see what we can see.
So right after sunrise, the wind let up, and I needed to shake the reefs out of the sails. So that's what you can see me doing here. I'm taking the halyard down, unhooking the sail from the reef hook, and raising it up the rest of the way. After that, the wind was at a good bearing to put all the sails up. So I loosened the staysail sail, and then there was 4. But no rest for the weary. The refrigerator was causing us problems.
So we figured out that the strainer's not clogged. Something's wrong with the compressor. Maybe it's not getting power, maybe it's... We're trying to figure it out. We're gonna prime it and try it again.
So this would be a problem that would haunt us for the entire way. What we ended up figuring out here was that the boat was going fast enough where the water moving past the through hole was causing a vacuum and actually sucking air through the line and unpriming the pump. So we needed to prime the pump every time we went over 9 knots, which was really a pain in the butt. The way to remedy this would be put a check valve on the exhaust water for the refrigerator, or close the inlet when you were done running the refrigerator. The problem with that is the inlet was underneath the engine. And we would have had to crawl in the engine room every time. So this will be an ongoing problem, you'll see.
Okay, false alarm on the, what is it called? What was I working on? Oh, the refrigerator. False alarm on the refrigerator. It looks like we just preemptively started working on it without checking to make sure it was not below the temperature it needed to be to click on. So I think it's actually at 13.5 now. It was at 12 before, so it should turn on now. You want to try it?
Okay.
Let's see. Let's hear. It will be right under here. Yeah, that's it.
Not staying on.
It's not staying on.
It's the prime.
Oh, it's the prime.
Oh, they picked it up.
There it goes. Yeah, look, I fixed it. Mark fixed it. Okay, I just took the first shower I've taken all trip. Look at my hair, it's so silky smooth. And I feel great. That's a great shower. All right. Okay, this is our first catastrophe. We're 3 days in and this is really messed up. So we were going to take a second reef on the main, and the second reef line got wrapped around the boom, got stuck. We had to undo the jack stays. That got let go of and went all the way up the mast. So we just took all the sails down. The wind is about 21 knots, and it's, you know, it's not like life or death, but it's kind of scary, you know. I'll show you guys this mess. We need on the second spreader. Let me down! Okay, down. Okay, wait, whoa. What side of the spreaders does it need to be on?
This side.
What?
This side.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
My side, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come down.
Got it?
Go down. Get the off of this thing. Do not like this ride at all. What's going on? Why can't you get down? Get this. There, the clutch is actually. You got it? I got the clutch. Okay. Shit. Fuck that ride, man. It's fun, isn't it? Did it! Yeah! That was not cool. Don't try this at home. Okay. Oh my God, I don't want to do that again this trip. Let's not do that again. Yeah. From now on, if these get hung up, we just need to go upwind. We need to turn the engine on because I am not doing that again.
Okay, crisis averted. We have all the sails back up. I went up the mast, got the thing down, we fixed the jack stays. But in the confusion, someone was in the shower. And she has a scopolamine patch on. A scopolamine patch is a little patch you put behind your ear to help with seasickness. And what does it say on the box?
Not to, if you touch it, you gotta wash your hands. And if you get it in your eye, you have to seek medical attention.
So, did you get it in your eye?
I sure did.
Have you seeked medical attention?
No.
Show everybody. Oh my God, your left pupil is so much bigger than the other one. You need to seek medical attention.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to like call someone?
I think I'm the closest thing to a medic we have on the boat.
Definitely. Do you want to like use the sat phone and call?
No, it'll
someone?
go away. I mean, my mom.
Are you sure?
My
You
mom
look
did
like
this and it went away.
You have a brain injury. Oh, poor girl. It's so big. Well, at least you're clean.
Yeah, I'm clean.
Okay, status update. It's still day 4. Everybody took a nap right after lunchtime, after we had some sandwiches. We had some trouble this morning where we were trying to get the main double reef down and I let go of the jack lines and it just went all the way up to the second spreader. Then I had to go in the bosun's chair. We had to go upwind and it was just the worst time. It was like 24 knots of wind. And so after that, everybody took a nap. Mark was up here and he noticed that we had a fish on the line. So he woke everybody up and said, "Hey, are you guys ever gonna come up here and get this fish?" And we caught a sailfish. And none of us knows really if sailfish is gonna be good. I've had it before smoked and I've heard that it's bad as sushi. We tried it all raw and it was a little gamey and fishy, so we're gonna try it, marinate it as steaks and grill them, and then we filleted some, make it into like, I don't know, pasta sauce or something. Or maybe just like bread it and fry it and have some fried sailfish. Pretty fish. Them two are cleaning up all the sailfish. This guy in the cockpit doing more lures because he's a fish maniac. And overall, it's been a great day. Great day. I'm tired today though. Going up the mast was scary. Okay, it's sunset. We've got rice cooking downstairs, and we've got the sailfish grilling in the back after marinating for about an hour and a half. Come on, let's go see. Oh my God, that looks good.
A little shake, extra shake there.
Yeah. Now we're living. You happy, buddy?
That's some good eating right there.
See how my secret sauce comes out.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of.
Ryan, put it back in. Yeah, so I don't fall backwards. Or into the barbecue. That's teamwork right there. Well, that fucker's hot. I don't
That's
want
so cute.
I don't want to be wearing this thing, man.
Okay. You can let go now, Ryan.
But I just don't want to.